So today I'm going to make a hook knife. First time I've done one. It's going to be a long handle, so I think the whole thing is going to be about 400 mil, 300 handle, so 100 and something for the actual blade, and it just hooks over and you scoop out and you make spoons and bowls and God knows what. And here's a quick SketchUp model, just so that I can work out what it is I'm supposed to be doing. The bevel on the blade section is only a half bevel for just the lower part of the blade, so that it's a right-handed tool really. And then after I've forged it, stick a handle on the end, possibly with a nut at the far end, and possibly burned in. So it should be a bit of fun. I'm going to make it not out of plasticine, but out of spring steel, which I get from the local garage. They just chuck them out. I think this one's not even broken, so I'm assuming either a different one broke and then this one just got replaced because as a pair. You've got to be a bit careful with found material, because sometimes they chuck it out because it's no good, or it's cracked or fatigued or worn through. But anyway, this should be fine for our purposes. But what I need to work out is how much of this I need to cut out per knife, because I want a relatively tapered handle and a particular size blade. It's going to be 60 millimeters diameter, but 2 millimeters thick. So I'm going to squash this down and I'm going to practice with plasticine first. So according to my model, 60 millimeter diameter means it's going to be about 180 something, or maybe 170 something if I remember. And that's quite long, but of course this is at 16 millimeters diameter still. So I'm going to knock this down to 2 millimeters in one direction and probably just a little bit fatter. So I'm going to guess that this is where expert blacksmithing skills come into play, and I don't have them. So I'm going to guess about that much. Well, until it looks right for something that's going to be a great big circle. That doesn't look far off, actually. So I just keep doing it until it looks about right. Okay, so that's the plan. We're going to make that out of this. That is about 250 millimeters of plasticine, so 250 millimeters of spring steel. There's plenty in here. I mean, I think I've probably got enough to make 3 just from this one. So let's get out to the forge and start chopping this up. I want 3 lots of 250 out of that if I can. Doesn't look like there's that much material in here, but oh my god, when you unravel a circle it gets really long very quickly. Okay, so here we go. It's not rocket science. All I'm going to do, or I've already done, is I've cut these up. That leaf spring, I've got some spare big bits. I think I'll use these ones. In fact, I'll use this one to start off with. Just cut them up, and all I'm going to do is shove them into the forge and straighten them out. Yeah, that was great fun. Burning off paint. It'll work if I could get it out. So confidently. All right. First bit's really awkward. After that it gets more awkward.
all you've got to do is get it in there. Yeah, that's not really helping. You're really looking forward to a comedy moment here. Oh, hello. The anvil hasn't moved before. Nice. Get the end a bit wet. Don't want to take too much of the circular aspect off just yet. Nor am I really aiming for a perfect. I am just going to whack that in the vise though, because that's a nice easy bit. So it should be in the hottest part of the flame. That's pretty hot. There you go. Alright, we're done. Alright. Easy. Let's go. It's on there. I'm kind of getting a bit of what I'm not on autofocus. It's sort of doing what I want. Alright, let's see what we can do. Well, you can see what I'm trying to do. It does look so much easier than it actually is. So now I just want that square, ideally. What a mess. Okay, so after a little judicious spin on the grinder, they weren't cracks, they were cold shuts. So even those, I'm going to get rid of those, but not right now. I mean, there's a fair amount of work to do. I can't do too much work on this with that big lump hanging out at the end. And I need to work it hotter. I think that is starting to look like it's breaking up or splitting. I can't quite see. Let's see what we can do. Wrong one. Right one. Ah. Hit it. Hit it. Oh, not there. That's moving. Moving a little bit too far. One dodgy hammer blow. Look at that, one dodgy hammer blow. Bugger. Alright. It's putting a lot of stress just into that one place where I don't want it to be stressed. Looking at that. I think it's okay. I don't like the fact that it's bent, but ain't short. Tidy. That down there. So that's what I'm aiming for. That's what a full circle would be, and that's what I can get away with. So I've got this margin of error. And I'm copying a design I found, and it doesn't need to be exactly the same. It just needs to be very similar. I wanted that one. Oh, you can regret every single one of those hammer marks in the grind later on. I'm alright with that. Strictly speaking, not planishing or flatting. Yeah, I'm not holding that any higher up. Good job. No one can see what I'm doing with my leg. Not actually holding it. That's balanced. Well, I guess at that heat that is planishing. Knock this back into a sensible position. So I want to flatten this out without that end flicking up, but of course it will flick up because that's what it does. Ideally I want to do this without destroying all this work. I can hold on to this. That's coming down. Oops. Yeah, oops, just flattened that, look. Not really recommend it. I don't want to be doing this. Stop it. It's cold. Stop it. And after all that, what we've got is a rough forging, very rough forging, compared to what we were aiming at. So we've got approximately the right sort of depth. Got a lot more thickness. Don't quite have the length. Now the effective length of the blade is from there, which is that part of the blade. So really not that far off. Remembering that this one goes into a full circle, the size we want, and I actually only need it to go to about there. So I've got an inch too much for the shape that we want, which is about it's about what we've got. So let's have a look at some of the problems with this, specifically this area, which is the most important thing really when you think about it. Get a nice sharp blade on here, get a nice round bit, but I want a lot of strength in that part because that is the weakest link. So let's have a closer look at that. This is the area of most concern. It's this crack in here. Not so much a crack as a cold shut which has opened up. So it is a crack. It's a cold shut that's opened up because of the constant flexing as these pieces are being forged. That's nothing to worry about really. I will grind it out so there's no stress riser, and the rest of it looks okay. It just needs to have the right shape inside it, and then we grind it down until it's released. So just for fun, I did manage to get hold of this amazing piece of kit, a stereo zoom microscope, and because I've been playing with 3D printers, I've made up a little iPhone thing holder, which should just clip onto there. Now, it looks horrific. There's no getting away from it. This looks really awful. I can take as many photos as I want, but what you want to see is some video. And there you go. There's a bit of video of this horrible crack. When you look at it close up, it really looks bad. Anyway, we're going to just grind that out and take it from there. But that's a bit of fun. These stereo microscopes are just fantastic. So next thing is straighten it out as best we can and then to the grind. So this is the bend we want to get out, but I'm not going to worry about it from there onwards. So this is the bent part we want to get rid of, and I'm pretty sure that will come out. So you can see that's obviously bent as well. I'm pretty sure that will come out with a few judicious cold bangs. Soon find out. Well, it's quite bouncy. Yeah, don't think so. I don't think so. It's going to have to, I mean, the fly press might be a better idea. And it might actually even be a bit more fun. To the fly press. Right. I know what you're thinking. What an amazing workshop this guy has. Oh no, that might not be what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, oh my god, what a mess. Yes, it is. And other YouTube channels are available. It's going to get messy one of these days soon. In the next few days and weeks, I'll tidy up. Years maybe, actually. It's probably closer to the truth. Anyway, look at my wonderful fly press. So I've got a bend there that's... let's see where this bend is. So the first bend I want to do is probably here. Actually no, I think I've got a bend there that I want to take out. So there and there. And there. Alright, all clear above and behind. Before we swing this handle round and take out half the workshop. What am I going to hit? Apart from... So I'm adjusting the stop collar at the top, which prevents the handle from unwinding all the way. I've got various blocks and bits and pieces to chock things up on. I'll just use this for now. I mean, you know, it's a rough casting. So I'm probably more worried about damaging my blocks, which came out of an old machine that got scrapped. Yeah, so just, but oh yeah, that's a bend. Let's take a little bit of thing out of there. It will put a sharp corner on because of these blocks. I can see it from here, and you can see what this thing does. As I hit it, obviously it bounces the bend out of it, but it's slightly springy. You have to feel it going to its yield point, and then it ends up being straight. Also take a little bit of pressure off, just turn it, and you can easily see the wobble. So that's obviously a high point there, but yeah, just bang it so it goes straight. A little bit more, but I'm actually quite happy with that. Right, so keeping that in place. So let's say that first bit is nominally straight. Find the next, oops, there's an obvious bend. Right, that looks a little bit bent there. Let's find the apex. And also, take it away from anywhere that's... I want to find the ends of the bend, and that looks pretty good. So I just got to worry about it squirting out sideways. But I think I can probably do that with a press. There's one thing that fly press does amazingly well. It is taking out bends. Right, so I mean, most of the gross bend is out of that. There's another one. Ah, that's awesome. All right, so I've got one you can probably see from here. I've got one very long bend, which probably will come out. So just the maximum extent of here. Should be right. Keep your fingers away, having said that. A little bit fiddly. A lot fiddly. Right. So, holding this up, let's find out where the long bend is. The long bend is there. Oh, bums. This is actually a lot easier without a camera right in front of it, but it's more fun. I've got to say that is pretty good. All right, I'm going to say that's pretty good. Let's take it out and have a look. So I know we thought the fly press was untidy, but that's nothing compared to this. So I'm going to make you watch me cut this off. Also, bearing in mind this is a spring off a car. Spring off a car. I don't know what it's from actually. It's from a vehicle. It's a vehicle spring. Which is effectively the same material that this is made from. I might also use that as a test piece for hardening, yeah, so that should be a nice straight-ish thing, and then we just need to get this bit hot so that we can straighten that and then grind it. Yeah. Oh my god. And then I need to just check. You look to see if the flame is detached from the burner, and it has. It's perfect. It sounds right as well. If I open this up a bit, the gas jet will detach from the orifice. Whatever. I'm going to I heat this up, straighten it out, and we're ready to go. So what I'll do is I'll get the flatter on the very end of it first. Get the flatter on the very end. So I might use the big hammer for that. Get the flatter on the very end, and then gradually work my way backwards towards the handle, and then heat up that handle knuckle, so that I'll do that bit last. Alright, see what I mean? So I want to get this very end bit, get the flatter on there. That looks pretty good. Get all the hammer marks out. And then we'll just keep coming back. And then once I get to that knuckle, I can straighten out the gross error of the whole thing. Rock. Use a striker at this point. It's actually not looking that bad in terms of hammer glue. Maybe I can just straighten. I think I'll just straighten it from now on. bit uncomfortable doing that, to be honest. Again, it's that putting stress into that joint that I don't want to do. This is unnecessary. I think what we need to do is get this ground flat now that it's yeah, let's grind this up. That's fine. Oops. See, it doesn't look hot, but that black heat is deceptive. It will burn your hand in an instant. And yet it looks all the same. I don't want to chill that because I don't want to harden it before I grind it. And we're also going to trim these edges so we got nice and flat. I might actually do it on the linisher, but for now, let this cool down and come back and grind it. So I've done a bit of grinding on this with the linishing machine, and it's come up nice and flat, so managed to get it down to about 4 and a bit millimeters, nice and flat. It's got a taper, widens out by a couple of millimeters. I haven't decided which way I want to make it parallel, because they both look pretty good. This looks pretty straight, and so does that. So, but because this is also a taper, this spring steel tapers down, it's slightly deceptive. So I need to figure out what it is I'm going to do about all this weight here, all this mass. I really don't want to forge it down. I really don't. And you know, probably an angle grinder will take that off quicker than anything. The linishing machine's using up its belts. I'm kicking myself for making this so thin, but the reason that is necked really so severely is because of those cold shuts that I was getting with this bolster. Anyway, there it is. That's as far as I'm going to do it for now. I'm going to have a think about the next few steps. I might even completely redo it, because I think starting off with this is actually a lot easier, because that's already, you know, that's a lovely cone that will just bang into a conically shaped, or I can burn it into a handle. Forge. This actually didn't take too much to forge out. This was the complex bit that I messed up. So if I concentrate more on that than the rest of it, I think I might just fire up a piece with that. But for now, I'm going to have a think about what to do with this, and see you on the next video.